A manhunt is underway for this suspect.
Suspect, it's going to be a male, white, 30s, tall, heavy set, orangish red glasses, possibly Oakley glasses, baseball hat, gray sweater, dark pants. He was armed with a large knife with a 10-inch blade, and he's possibly injured as well.
Cincinnati police say the victim suffered critical injuries.
Complainant states his crew's working, employee on scene's been stabbed. It's a male Hispanic victim.
Neighbors gave us this video. It shows the suspect stabbing a construction worker, then he runs away. Police say someone saw the suspect run from Baum Street to Monastery Street down the hill heading west towards a pedestrian bridge near I-471. Police also searched for the suspect with a drone. We blurred the victim and cut the sound, but you could hear him screaming in the video. After the suspect takes off, video shows other construction workers helping the victim and picking up what looks like plywood or a board in case the suspect comes back. This is one more glimpse of the suspect. We are still waiting on an update on the man's injuries, but at last check, he was in critical condition. If you recognize the suspect in the video, you're asked to call 911. A man is now dead after shooting in College Hill. Police say they got a call about a shooting along West North Bend Road around 3 this morning. When officers arrived, they say they found Jason Stewart shot. He was rushed to UC Medical Center but did not make it. So far, no arrests have been made. Well, temperatures are dropping and it's going to be a cold weekend this weekend. So what will we see, Steve? Are we going to see some snow?
Yes, we are. As a matter of fact, we just decided to put out 2 first alert weather days, really for Saturday evening into Sunday in the early morning hours. By the time you get up Sunday morning, the accumulating snow will be over, and I'll explain all that coming up. But be aware there could be some slippery driving as we head into Sunday morning. 24 right now out there. Skies are cloudy. If you take a look at this, 21 in Washington Courthouse, but still 33 over in Ashland. Everybody else in the 20s with Batesville coming in at 21 right now. So definitely on the cold side out there with wind chills. Look at the wind chill at the CVG, 11, 16 in Harrison, 14 in Hamilton, 12 in Lebanon, 11 in Wilmington, 13 in Springboro. So it is cold out there, and there will be some spots tomorrow morning that you have wind chills in the single digits. All this is very light flurry activity, a flake or two possible, nothing to concern yourself with, but we are watching very closely some developing systems out here in the northern Rockies and the high plains. I'll show you what that means for us coming up in a few seconds. Overnight, look for a low of 19. Wind chills in spots tomorrow morning in the single digits. We're looking at sunrise at 7:36, another cold, blustery day, and we'll also talk about what it looks like for Bengals fans when I come back.
Thanks, Steve. Stores are closing for Black Friday, but Small Business Saturday begins tomorrow. Brady Williams joins us live after checking in with some local small businesses that are preparing.
Yeah, so Small Business Saturday didn't even exist until 2010, and at that, it was invented by a credit card company. So not exactly the small business start to things, but over time, what it's become is an opportunity for these businesses to get some recognition and hopefully build up a customer base.
To come down and support and talk to us, because as much as we also want people to buy, we also love to talk and see friendly faces.
Nanya Bois works at Black Owned, an apparel store in downtown Cincinnati. She says that connection is what makes a small business unique.
I think it's important just for people to remind themselves, like, come shop with us, because when you support us, we do greater things by supporting our community, because at the end of the day, we are here for the community.
With Small Business Saturday, businesses like theirs and Rivertown and Over the Rhine might just get a new customer to stop in.
I feel like some people would say, we never know this place exists, we didn't walk by.
Tyler Reed works at Rivertown, and he says he's really seen the business take off. He says the Bengals making the Super Bowl is what really established their customer base.
We were pretty much the only place in town that had
And that was our Brady Williams reporting. We're going to have his full story on our website for you at FOX19NOW.com so you can get ahead on your holiday shopping. Well, if you're going out to shop for Small Business Saturday, you might want to prepare for some extra traffic. This is a live look at the Taylor Southgate Bridge, where many drivers are being diverted since the Big Mac Bridge is still partially closed. It's not too busy now, but we've seen some major backups here at times. Now, southbound lanes of the Big Mac Bridge have been shut down all month long after a fire underneath it caused a lot of damage. Today, crews started demolition to remove some of the damaged sections of the bridge. Once that is completed, crews will begin to make repairs and hope to reopen the bridge by March. However, ODOT says several things could push that timeline back. Our Alexis Martin spoke with ODOT representatives about what this process is going to look like.
They're going to be working. There are going to be times when they're pulling double shifts because they're going to work very aggressively. They're not going to they're going to work as much as they possibly can.
Demolition starts today on the Daniel Carter Beard Bridge after a fire underneath the bridge on November 1st caused significant amounts of damage. Part of the northbound lanes are open, but the southbound lanes are closed. Kathleen Fuller, the public information officer for the Ohio Department of Transportation, says the work being done to repair the bridge is very precise as they take down just the damaged areas.
We don't want to jeopardize the structural integrity of everything that's good. The stuff that hasn't been damaged can be saved. It doesn't need to be completely replaced. We just need to replace what's been damaged.
Fuller described the work that is starting today as surgical demolition.
They're kind of pecking small sections of that concrete deck apart, and they'll move from one location to another location on the deck.
Fuller says all of the northbound lanes should be open by the end of the year, and construction on the southbound lanes should start in January.
It's actually a very aggressive schedule. For those who think that they don't understand why it's not being done more quickly and more readily, it simply couldn't. There has been so many different things and variables as to why it's taking the time that it has.
One of those variables is stability. ODOT had to make sure it was safe for the crews to work on the bridge before demolition could start. One of the biggest concerns for tri-state travelers is traffic. Fuller says Cincinnati, Newport, and Covington have made changes to signal times to try and lessen the traffic on other bridges in the region.
It's really about just people planning ahead, being mindful of the traffic and the possible delays and congestion that they're going to face, and just allow that extra time.
Again, that was our Alexis Martin reporting. During this demo process, ODOT says part of Sawyer Point Park will be restricted. That includes the trail that runs along the Ohio River. ODOT says it will be likely closed for a few weeks. Fountain Square officially decking the halls with its tree lighting ceremony. Our Mike Shell will have a look at the moment Fountain Square lit up. Plus, shoppers all across the tri-state lined up for Black Friday deals. Any guesses on the products that were the most sought after? And those Black Friday deals might also carry overline line, but we'll tell you about a strike that could impact your holiday shopping.
Fox 19 Now, sponsored by Gilkey Windows. Come and see your windows and patio doors custom made in our factory showroom.
Well, hundreds of people bundled up and headed down to Fountain Square tonight for Duke Energy Light Up the Square. Holiday revealers were treated to music, ice skating, a fireworks display, and of course, the lighting of the giant Christmas tree. Our Mike Shell was at the holiday party and he is live at Fountain Square. Mike, did you ice skate?
I did not ice skate. I would not get very far, Courtney, but a lot of folks did. And as the song goes, it's the most wonderful time of the year. A little chilly, but a festive time had by everyone here on Fountain Square. Prior to the big moment, the unlit tree provided enough anticipation for many to stick around. There were a few heaters to keep the cold at bay, but for most, it didn't matter.
It's a really special night. This, everyone from Cincinnati knows the tradition of this night. It's very special. Light up the square. It's when we light our holiday tree, Christmas tree every year. And it's natural for Duke Energy as the lighting power company that keeps Cincinnati lit up 365 days a year to sponsor this evening's event to light up the square.
We go every year. This is one of the best things to do in Cincinnati. Great way to top off after Thanksgiving and get together with family and friends. It's awesome.
The ice rink was packed and UC's dance team led the crowd into the final countdown to the lighting of the 55-foot tall Norway spruce.
We decided to make it a tradition.
Yeah.
My nieces have never seen it, so I thought it would be great to show them. The performance was good. The ice skaters were great. The Fifth Third Stage performers were great. The songs were awesome. Could put you in the Christmas cheer.
But the party wasn't over with just a simple tree lighting. Organizers topped it off with a massive fireworks display.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Woo!
And if you're going to make it out tonight, you got plenty of time to do so. The ice skating rink opened here on the square through February the 17th. So come on down and enjoy it. But, yeah, dress warm. At Fountain Square with photojournalist Philip Kriske, Mike Shell, Fox 19 Now.
Thanks, Mike. Right now, Amazon workers across the globe are on strike. Strike organizers say it will run through Cyber Monday. They say they want Amazon to improve pay, working conditions, and climate accountability. This is now the 5th year of the Make Amazon Pay campaign. The TSA says it screened more than 1.5 million people on Thanksgiving Day. That's a slight increase from last year's holiday travel. The Thanksgiving travel period is counted from this past Tuesday through Monday. During this time, TSA officials are expecting to screen more than 18 million people. That would make it the busiest Thanksgiving travel period on record.
There's no throwing elbows, there's no fighting.
Well, holiday shoppers were lined up at stores across the tri-state to take advantage of some Black Friday deals. Fox 19's Peyton Marshall checked out a number of stores this morning. Long lines formed outside Target. A lot of people she spoke to say they were setting their sights on some new Taylor Swift merchandise to check off a Swiftie on their family Christmas list. But of course, it wasn't just standalone stores. Shoppers also swarmed malls across the greater Cincinnati area. This is video of our crews got at the Cincinnati Premium Outlets earlier today. Shoppers we spoke with say the biggest lines they saw were at athletic stores.
Nike, their line earlier was across the walkway, blocking a gate, but then when they opened the doors, they were able to get that managed. But it was really exciting to see people Nike, Adidas Outlet, UGG, Under Armour, all these great names and stores are having great deals. So there was a lot of excited people out.
Between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the National Retail Federation is expecting more than 180 million shoppers this year. Well, the Newport Aquarium says Scuba Santa's Water Wonderland is returning for the holidays. This is video from last year. He's back at the aquarium starting today. Santa will swim alongside 2 zebra sharks, and visitors will be able to talk to Santa while he's in the water. You'll also be able to take holiday pictures, check if you're on the nice list, and meet Santa's team of elves He'll be there at the aquarium through December 24th. Kings Island is kicking off its holiday season tonight with the return of Winterfest. The park sent us this video from tonight showing the moment the park's Eiffel Tower lit up and was transformed into a 314-foot Christmas tree. This year's event features more than 7 million lights, ice skating and live entertainment, and much more. The event runs on select nights through the end of the year. Tickets start at $30. Well, if you're going to any of these winter events this weekend, you'll want to bundle up because it will be cold. I went to my car, Steve, and I was freezing just to get one thing.
Yeah, Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, we're going to see wind chills in some spots in the single digits, and they'll stay in the teens and 20s through Saturday evening. And for the Bengals fans, bundle up. It's going to be cold. Wind chills in the teens and 20s for the game. 24 right now out there. Nice view of downtown Cincinnati. You can see everything distinctly, so really no obstruction to visibility means not much is going on right now, but that will change. By tomorrow at this time, we should see snow coming down around the tri-state. Current temperatures, 21 at Washington Courthouse in Batesville, Hamilton, 25, also in Middletown, 26 in Oxford, officially 24. And wind chill values, well, they're on the cold side, as low as 11 degrees at the International Airport, also in Lebanon and Wilmington, 14 in Hamilton, 13 in Oxford. So it is a cold, cold night, and it'll be even colder. All this is flurry activity. Nothing that'll be a problem for your driving or your travels. It changes, though, tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening's a little bit different story. And you can see what's going on out here in the high plains, from the northern Rockies, actually, into the high plains. And this is a system that's developing along a stationary front that will bring us that chance of snow. And here's how that looks, okay? We go into Saturday at 7 a.m. Actual temperatures in the teens and 20s with wind chills as low as single digits in spots. As we head into the evening hours, we get a little mix at first, then we go over to snow only. So you can see the least amount of snow will be up to the north, the heaviest amounts will be down to the south, and by the time we get to 5:30 a.m. Sunday, it's pretty much gone around the tri-state. But here's the model I think that's got the best handle on it right now. Nothing in the way of accumulation in Connersville, maybe 1/10 of an inch in Middletown, 3/10 in Hamilton, but as much as 2 inches in Owenton. So across our far southern counties, from Owenton to southern Grant to southern Pendleton to Robertson, Bracken in there, Mason and Lewis counties, you might see 2 to 2.5 inches of snow. And this time it's cold enough for it to stick, and it is cold enough for slippery spots to develop. So first alert weather days, Saturday evening into the pre-dawn hours of Sunday. And of course, Ashley Smith will have more on that for you tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Overnight low tonight, 19 degrees. Sun's up at 7:36. Here's your 7-day forecast. Looking at 19 tonight, 36 tomorrow with clouds increasing. During the evening, that first alert weather day begins. It ends early Sunday morning with the possibility of some slippery to icy driving in spots, especially rural roads that don't get treated, in rural elevated roadways like bridges. We're talking about sunny and cold on Monday with a high of 31, 33 on Tuesday, 43 on Wednesday, 41 Thursday, back down to 34 on Friday. And Sunday for the Bengals game, bundle up for wind chills in the 20s and teens. Here's what looks like beyond the 7-day forecast. It stays cold with a little bit of a warming trend starting as we head toward the 13th. But we do have several days when we can see a little bit of snow from time to time. And here's what it looks like on our summary graphic. You've got high temperatures, low temperatures, put the normals on here, and what you'll see that we're below normal and rising to above normal by the time we get to the end of this forecast. And the takeaway, and well, I guess we're not going to see the takeaway. The takeaway is there's no big system coming our way, just a bunch of little nasty systems, and it stays pretty chilly as we head toward the middle of the month. And now it's time for sports, I guess.
Well, tomorrow, 2 of college football's biggest rivals will face off. The Ohio State Buckeyes, who are ranked number 2 in the nation, are taking on the team up north, the Michigan Wolverines. You can watch the game right here on Fox 19 Now. It all kicks off in Columbus Saturday at noon. If you want more coverage leading up to the game, check out our podcast, 19 on the Clock. In this week's episode, producers Brad Pushkar and Jackson McCarty discuss Ohio State and Michigan, the Governor's Cup, and one of the last weeks of high school football playoffs. You can catch it on the Fox 19 app and YouTube page and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Are your Christmas lights burnt out? What you can do with them instead of just throwing them away. Plus, Santa makes a stop in the Queen City. We show you how he arrived at the Museum Center. Well, this weekend, Findlay Market and the Salvation Army of Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky are hosting a Red Kettle campaign honoring the late radio legend Jim Scott. Scott lost his battle with ALS back in June at the age of 81. He was named the honorary Grand Marshal of this year's Reds opening day parade and was a longtime supporter of the Salvation Army. Tomorrow, his loved ones will volunteer next to Findlay Market's Christmas tree sale on Race Street. This is all happening from 11 to 1 p.m. By now, a lot of people have started putting up their holiday decorations, but when you went to plug it all in, you might have discovered some of those lights don't work anymore. If that happens to you, the Great Parks of Hamilton County says don't trash them, recycle them instead. Great Parks and Cohen Recycling are bringing back the Holiday Lights recycling program this year. Starting on Sunday, you can drop off your LED or string lights at 6 different locations. A list of those are on your screen right now. You'll be able to drop them off through February 1st. Great Park says only lights and their wirings should be dropped off, so don't bring the bags or boxes that the lights originally came in. For more information, visit Great Park's website.
Merry Christmas!
Santa Claus is already in town and he made his first stop at the Cincinnati Museum Center. Kris Kringle traded in his sleigh ride for a more modern whip, a Tesla. Originally, he was supposed to show up in a helicopter, but the conditions were too windy. You can visit Santa at Union Terminal up until Christmas Eve, when he will have to make his way back, of course, to the North Pole to get ready for his big night. Steve, are your Christmas lights up yet?
No, but I'm doing that tomorrow. We've got the tree in. We got the tree ready to be decorated, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a couple days to get it all done. But tomorrow I get the lights up.
I'm already there.
Oh,
I
you're a
decorate
Christmas
early.
person, huh?
I am.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget what was on FOX19NOW.com. And don't forget about our free mobile news app. We'll see you later. Have a good night. Final quarter's next.
Keeping you informed anytime, anywhere, everywhere. Fox 19 Now is sponsored by Aquaproof. Don't just waterproof it, aquaproof it. Call Aquaproof for your customized waterproofing and drainage needs. No one size fits all here. This is the final quarter on Fox 19 Now. Sponsored by OrthoSensi, Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
And away we go with the final quarter here on Fox 19 Now. Thanks for finding us. Boy, what an amazing night of high school football. When you start to think about it now, this is a massive week for these high school teams just to get to the state championship game and have a chance to play for the big trophy at the end of the season. We started the night with 8 local teams in Ohio and Kentucky with a chance to advance to next weekend's state championship games in Canton and Lexington. And listen, last week we called it the game of the year in Cincinnati when it was Moeller and St. X in the regional championship. This is the Northern Kentucky game of the year, and it's our top game. So let's bring in Gabby and Reagan for Highlands and Cooper. Everybody's been pointing to this game all season long. Which team would go on to the state championship game in Northern Kentucky tonight?
Look at us at the top of the show for the
I
first
love
time
it.
this season.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here in the warmth. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Highlands at Cooper, like I just said, in the freezing cold. I still can't feel my toes after this one. 2 local teams going at it in the state semifinal game. The Bluebirds and Jaguars know each other well. They met in this round last year. Cooper won that game 17-15 to go to state. They played in week 6 this season. The Jags won that game by 3. So the big question, can Highlands get one back when it matters the most? Bluebirds driving down the field. Rio Littmer looking to the end zone. But Isaac Brown reads it like a book. That kid did his homework. Jags interception, and they capitalize. Cam O'Hara with the pitch to Riker Campbell. Hurdles his way into the end zone. Cooper on the board first. Up 7-0. We're going to head to the second quarter now. Special teams were a big factor in this game in the cold tonight. Cooper going to punt. Highlands blocks it. And I don't know if you'll believe this, but these kids right here said they're going to block it. They're going to block it right before the punt. They manifested that. Bluebirds deep in Cooper territory, and Adam Surrey walks it in for Highlands' first touchdown of the game. HHS up 10-7. Next Highlands possession, another touchdown. This time Littmer throwing it up to Jack White. He's a running back. He makes an insane catch in the corner of the end zone. Flex on him, Jack. Highlands with its biggest lead of the night, up by 10 at halftime. And talk about second half adjustments. Cooper came out a different team. O'Hara has one of the best arms in the area. That's an example. Cam to his guy, Austin Alexander. What a play. Cooper just came out swinging. The Jaguars score 54 points in the second half. You heard that right. 34 of them in the third quarter, and Cooper is headed to its second straight state championship. 61-23 the final. The Jags still in search of their first ever state title.
And in Division I tonight in Ohio, it was Moeller against Centerville. Matt Ponatoski steps back. He's got his guy Cooper McCutcheon downfield for a massive Crusader touchdown. We've only seen that duo like a time or two this season. But Centerville, they've got an answer. Shane Cole with a nice tight spiral here to Parker Johnson in the corner of the end zone for 6. That would be their lone score of the night. So here we go. Ponatoski equals touchdown passes. Over the middle to his tight end, Sam Hilton. And that's another tutty for the good guys. That gives the Tin Man a reason to celebrate. Hey, and here's another. Tyler Jocelyn and his luscious blonde locks. Finding 6 more. And what's the saying? Just one more for good measure, or many more in this case. Ponatoski to Landon Adama. It's Moeller or bust, folks. The Crusaders are on to the state finals for the first time since 2013.
All right, Reagan, so Cooper and Moeller both moving on to the state championship games next week. We're going to stay in Ohio, though. Anderson and Big Walnut facing off at Welcome Stadium tonight.
Our Jackson McCarty was in Dayton for the game, and he joins us now with a full recap from what ended up being quite a thriller.
We've had a great year of Tri-State football, but that is especially true for the Anderson Raptors. They're still undefeated so far, and they're just 2 games shy of making that trend continue all the way through their year. They'll play Big Walnut tonight, whose lone loss was at the very beginning of the season to Bishop Watterson. So needless to say, they've got a tough one if they want to get to the state finals. It's almost tradition for the Raptors at this point to score multiple points early in the game. I guess some things never change. Caden Peening ends up with it and ends up in the end zone. The Dayton snow might make it a little tough to throw the rock, but don't you worry. Justice Burnham is more than capable of causing problems on the ground. Goes through the pile for the score, now 14-0 for Anderson. The Raptors were in full control the first quarter, but the Golden Eagles balanced things out in the second. Nolan Beerley finds the path of least resistance for the first big walnut touchdown, and he's also going to be responsible for the second. They level it out before half. Anderson had a chance to take a lead with just a few seconds left, but this close call comes up in favor of the Eagles, and they rule it a fumble. At this point, Beerley and Burnham were just raising the stakes every time they touched the ball. Justice had a couple turnovers throughout the contest, but he did a really good job of making everyone in attendance forget all about him. The pendulum swings back again, and it's Beerley again. That puts the Eagles out ahead before Burnham comes in, swoops in again. It's a tough road home, but he'll wear those bruises like a badge of honor. Big Walnut with one last chance to score. They go short. They try to keep it alive. They're tossing it around, but Anderson and the Raptors are inevitable. A 28-24 win for the undefeated Anderson, and they keep on marching to state. For Fox 19 Now, I'm Jackson McCarthy.
Okay, Jackson, back now in Kentucky. The Ryle football team wore all black, but it's not their funeral. The real Black Friday is in Union. This is great crossing quarterback Jeremiah Clark. That is not a great pass. Intercepted by Dylan Lee. Hey, this is Dylan. You know the drill. That's on the game's first possession. Spin the camera. Show the vibes. Ryle is knocking on the door for the game's first touchdown. Compliments to the Ryle OC. That is a 10 out of 10 play call. Nathan Virax in for the game's first points. When I say, who's the master, you say, show enough. Virax back on the field and now deeper in his bag than Mary Poppins. Dude threw a jump shot to Landon Lorms, and one of the most dangerous wide receivers in the state takes on the entire Great Crossing defense like it's Yasiel Puig at PNC Park. This is not a fluke. Ryle can win state. They hammered Great Crossing in the regular season and did the same tonight. Jacob Savage, ooh yeah! Ryle will play in the state championship game for the first time since 2006. We are not done. Beechwood, can they end their drought and go back to state and win it? We have Ryle already advancing. Can Beechwood join them? What about Cubcath? And what about Taft? More final quarter next. Welcome back to the final quarter. We started the night with 8 local teams, 1 win for the state championship game. This is the best story, the first state semifinal in Taft program history, and Javion Jarman is about to cut loose one of the biggest plays in Taft football history. Number 2 says deuces. That's the opening kick, and that's an FQ Top 3 nominee. Vote right now on X. Javion Jarman is the Cincinnati J Jettas. Thanksgiving rule at the Danimans. True story. No one could beat Bo Jackson when we played Tecmo Bowl. This is why Taft quarterback Monsana Torbert is zigzagging like Tecmo Bo. Taft jumped Indian Valley with the game's first 14 points, and here's more Taft. Aaron Dowdell, the real AD, like realer than real deal Holyfield. So here's Taft, 1/2 from the state title, but Indian Valley made too many plays in the second half. They end Taft's historic season 29-20. Indian Valley takes down Taft in Columbus.
Our kids worked hard. Indian Valley came out with a great game plan. They did an amazing job also. Proud of their team, proud of our team. It's a first for them also. Blessed to be here, and we're going to have to do on to the next one. We continue for next season.
What's the next step for Taft?
Next step, we got to get over the hump. We got to get over the hump. This was a big jump for us, honestly, to win a regional, then go to the Final Four. So now we got to get over that hump and get to a state championship.
Okay, now back to Kentucky. 2 more. Their ticket to Kroger Field in Lexington. This is Covcath against Franklin County. And listen, Covcath sent shock waves through the Bluegrass when they beat Boyle County. And he's a big reason why. That is Covcath quarterback Cash Harney. The Colonels led this game 3-0 at halftime. They needed a big touchdown right there in the second half to take a fourth quarter lead on Franklin County. But here come the Eagles. They answer and go ahead in the fourth quarter. It's now 14-10. Covcath down in the final minute. They engineered a fantastic drive to get within the 10-yard line with one final play in the fourth quarter. Look at Harney hitting his receivers, getting the ball down the field with no timeouts. They would have one final play in the final seconds to try to win this game, but it came up short. Covcath's great story after beating Boyle County comes to an end. Here is the final play with 6 seconds left, down 14-10. Here's Harney to Dylan Geyser. Was it incomplete? Was it a fumble? Either way, time ran out, and Covcath, their season ends 14-10 on the road. Heartbreaker against Franklin County.
Man, oh man. Let's take a ride to Fort Mitchell Beechwood, looking for their 4th trip to state in the last 5 years. Now, it was a cold one. We know that. A lot of high snaps, and that one right there stalled Beechwood's first drive, but we were still quite festive on the sidelines. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. And this is where things get fun. Tigers get the ball back. Chase Flaherty takes the handoff, has room to run on the edge, and trots his way into the end zone. That makes it 6-0. And that one got the kids riled up. LCA back with the ball, though, looking to go through the air, but Bo Souter comes swooping in for the pick. And back to the Tigers we go, just in time for a little bit of snow. Tyler Fryman was a running machine tonight. The cold, no problem for this guy. And I'll be honest, full disclosure, if I missed a highlight or two, it's because I was standing right there in front of the heaters. Flaherty barrels in for another here, but he actually hurt his ankle on that score, so we're hoping he's all right. Beechwood made a statement in the first half and never took their foot off the gas, and neither did Nathan Pabst. Makes every defender miss and takes it 50 yards to the house. That's an FQ Top 3 nominee. Go like or retweet right now on Twitter to make it #1. The Tigers have a chance to add another flag to their wall. They get another semifinal win, 44-24, the final. All right, so we have 2 Ohio teams still dancing in this thing, and I think both of them we expected. Anderson will take on Avon for the title of Division II champions. That's Thursday night at 7 p.m. in Canton. Now, the last time they won was in 2007, so a 17-year drought could potentially come to an end in less than a week here. Then on Friday, it's Moeller against Liberty in Division I. That game will kick off at 7:30. Moeller is going after its first state title in 11 years.
So can Moeller win state, and can their quarterback also win Mr. Football? He's gotten my vote, the outrageous numbers of Matt Ponatoski and why football might not even be his best sport. That's next on the FQ. The Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. Yeah, it's basketball time. And watching a Fleming at a basketball huddle is like watching Bob Ross with a TV camera. It's art. Jacob Wassler to Donovan Walaskowski. That's two of the GCL's top 5 returning scorers. Walaskowski scored 9. Wassler, that's 6'10" with some bounce. Nice guns. Respect. St. X's top gun is Wassler. Scoop, there it is. He scored 14. St. X won the game, and Jack Ryan won himself some TV time. But that's not Jim from The Office. He played Jack Ryan. what's his last name? Krasinski? Office people? Krasinski? John Krasinski. Bombers by 7, ladies.
You lost me there, Joe.
Loveland and Shawnee next up at Mason High School. Loveland head coach Rob Reese. Look at him firing his team up, and hey, it worked early on. First quarter action, Will Berkey drains the 3. He tallying 15 points for the Tigers today, and these fans are smart staying inside. Kudos to you. Chase Martin going coast to coast. He lays it in for a Tigers bucket. The Arrows trying to get something going, and they do. Brady Morton with the corner 3. That's 3 of his 17 points in the game. Arrows led at halftime, but the Tigers not going down without a fight. Fourth quarter, Blake Carrigan with the give and go for 2. And Loveland, they come back to win it. 64-54 the final score.
Now over to Mason High School, where we'll catch up with Sycamore. In the first quarter here, Tariq Kimbrough is a baller. Drains the deep ball for another Aviators bucket. But the team from Florida comes storming right back down the court. Randy Esteves drives and gets the deuce. Now Sycamore, they're gonna find Kimbrough again, this time underneath for a wide open layup. And man, it just looks really warm at that gym. I wish. Now these words are straight from Photog Rufus. Kimbrough can drop some dimes too. He finds Samuel Imade for the nice reverse, but Sycamore gonna lose this one 72-65.
Back to the high school football teams, and Matt Ponatoski, the quarterback at Moeller, threw 6 touchdowns tonight. He's well over 50 touchdowns for the season, and we know in Ohio, let's be real, they like to give Mr. Football to seniors. He's a junior, he's a quarterback, he's the quarterback of the best team in the state. I say, give it to Matt Ponatoski. Jeremy Rao now with more on Moeller star quarterback.
Ready, begin! It's not a stretch to call Moeller's Matt Ponatoski one of the best shortstops in the country, with too many baseball offers to count.
11! Maybe 40, 45-ish.
He's also quite the catch on a football field. Schools from the Big Ten, SEC, and UC have offered.
I want to play football and I want to play baseball for as long as I can.
Those big decisions aren't here yet for a 16-year-old junior. Right now, his decision-making on a football field makes Moeller look state championship good.
The combination of playing football and baseball, right? Like, he's played in highly, highly competitive environments in baseball. He's one of the best travel teams in the country. So when you think about the pressure moments that he's been in baseball, he's ready to roll when he gets to high school.
Ponatoski has Moeller rolling, and it's because they believe he can control the offense like two of the greatest in NFL history. Seriously.
Our whole thing to him is like, we want you to be Tom Brady. We want you to be Peyton Manning when you're on the field, and we give him a lot of flexibility to be able to make calls at the line of scrimmage and have a lot of say within the offense.
Like this kind of, day and age, I think C.J. Stroud is a quarterback that I love to watch. He's getting out of the pocket, to keep his eyes downfield and make plays to his wide receivers that, in a scramble drill. So I think that's something that I do pretty well when I get out of the pocket. I can keep my eyes downfield and make throws, the unconventional throws that the coaches don't always like, but if you complete it, they don't really have too much to say about it.
There are a lot of people saying things about Matt Ponatoski. What could be Ohio Mr. Football, a record-breaking player.
It's good stuff.
The next big-time two-sports star.
It's something that you have in the back of your head.
Ponatoski just wants people to say he's a state champion.
I'm chasing for wins, I'm chasing for a state championship, and I'm chasing to be a better person.
And Moeller will play for a state championship next week. The FQ top 3 as you voted on X. Number 3, Nathan Pabst from Beechwood. Give Nathan a blue ribbon for taking home top play number 3. Number 2, this was the opening kickoff in Taft High School's first ever state semifinal game. You talk about a play that Javion Jarman will remember forever. Taft didn't win tonight. They'll get over the hump eventually. But him taking back the opening kick took number 2 in our top 3. Number 1, as you voted on Twitter, we go back to Kentucky and Ryle in Class 6A on the game's first possession. That is Dylan Lee intercepting Jeremiah Clark and taking it all the way back inside the red zone. Ryle will play for a state championship next week, and Dylan Lee took number 1 on the FQ top 3. We're on with the big show right after football on Fox 19 Now. We'll see you then.